Well, listen, it's noon and it's Thursday, so it must be time for coffee with Ralph. Listen, coffee. I'm Ralph Gale. I'm the host here. Uh, I've been doing this since dirt was a chemical, I think. That is working with retirees and setting up their income and their insurances and things, just making sure they get through their retirement years comfortably. And well, that's me now, I guess. I'm 66. I'll be 67 in February. But like many people my age, I really don't have any reason or want to quit doing what I'm doing because I truly do enjoy working with people and helping them plan for that next chapter in their life. I've got to take a moment here. I've had one of those exciting, weird, strange, wacko weeks, and it all started when I got notified that my page in China had been published. Huh? What? So I look up on my identities, because I've got Ralph Gale, which by the way now is R. Lloyd Gale because I've been suspended. That's where the story's going. We'll lead into that here in a second, but and it's in Chinese, so I have no clue what it says, and so I notify Facebook on Wednesday through their email channels that's not my page and it doesn't belong to me and shouldn't be on my stuff and of course I didn't hear anything back right away, and when I did, it said no, your page has been published. We understand your appeal, but it's been published. I went, it's not my page, and so I sent it back. Well, here's the deal. On Saturday, I was at a golf outing to honor one of my friends who had died on us this year, unexpected, totally unexpected. And so it was a group of Indian doctors. They get together once a year, and they have a hoot and holler, and a bunch of chai runs around, and some Indian snacks and things of that nature. Anyways, periodically I'll check things. So I went to check my Facebook, and I was told my page had been suspended because of inappropriate postings on my Instagram account. My Instagram account, yeah. Fanciful Meteorites 20416. I went, it's not my page. It's not I don't even have an Instagram account. So I thought, well, here we go. We'll call somebody that says log into your Instagram account and file an appeal. Well, first off, it's not my Instagram account, so I'm sunk. Second off, there's no other way to contact Facebook, which leads me to this conversation about, I'm not sure I'm going back to Facebook, even after I get the suspension lifted. I might just close things out. Why? There's absolutely no way to contact Facebook, talk to a human being, go through any kind of process other than their appeals process, which it took me a day of scrambling on the internet and talking to a couple of different scammers saying they could fix a problem to find an email address for the appeals section of Facebook. Well, anyways, long story, make it short, maybe make it longer, I don't know. I filed that appeal, and there's nothing in there that says there's any kind of time frame for them to respond to that appeal. So here's the deal, guys. If you get any kind of weird posting from me, Ralph L. Gale, delete it immediately. It's not me. It's been now taken over by somebody. I'm not even sure if it's operating. I tried to look it up. I'm not even on Facebook now. Like say R. Lloyd Gale, which again is pretty interesting because apparently their AI is prejudiced. But because I put R. Lloyd as my first name, and all my new friend requests that are coming up are colored. So I guess R. Lloyd is a way, must be first initial, middle name must be something. I don't know. I really don't know. Anyways, long and short of the story is very simple. If it's coming from me on Facebook, it's not me. I'll let you know when I go back live on Facebook. In the meantime, you can find this on LinkedIn. You can find it on YouTube. And as soon as I have access to a couple other social media channels, I'll let you know that too. Facebook, probably the best option. You can find it there. Coffee with Ralph. Yep, that's the name of the Facebook or the YouTube. Anyways, so that's where that's at. And, we're getting, well, let me go through this to make sure it's out there. Coffeewithralph.com. Gets you right to my calendar and gives you 15 minutes of my time. No cost, no obligation. Let's talk about whatever's on your mind when it comes to retirement. And Medicare, it's getting close to October. So Medicare is starting to pop up, right? So MedicareWithRalph.com is a free call with me to go over Medicare and if you so choose, the options that you might have available to you. Remember, both are free. I look forward to your calls. Today on this edition with Coffee with Ralph, I want to talk, last week I talked about number one area, as I see it, when it comes to this thing called long-term care. Today I want to talk about the fourth area that I see when it comes into this area called long-term care, but it's the number one area when it comes to retirement. What's that? Well, it's income, right? Money. Oh my gosh, there we go. That dirty word again. Money. Why does it always come down to money? Because everything in life comes with a price. Early in life, we trade off our hours, our days of our lives for that paycheck or the opportunity to build our business. So that one day when we decide to hang up the gloves and enter our golden years, enter that next chapter of life, we don't have to worry about one day to the next. Everything's pretty well taken care of. Except that doesn't work. Now, I got to preempt this. This isn't a political statement whatsoever. Don't care about what party you're involved in. Let's just simply look at and observe some facts. I'm going to be referencing an article, a trade publication, but now it's been cited by a number of different news outlets about inflation. Since I began in this industry, and that seems like a lifetime ago, we've always talked about having money set aside from the account that you plan on drawing from monthly, for your income to offset this cost of inflation. But we set up inflation. We've always been taught to set up inflation. Be real cautious. Be careful. Let's do 3%. Now, I want you to keep in mind, I'm not an economist, but I'm pretty handy with math. And I'm going to use a client that I retired right during the middle of the pandemic. Inflation was 1.9, but we had set up an automatic inflation adjustment on his income stream at 3%, just to be safe. But we all have seen something. Inflation is different than the cost of living day to day. Gas has gone up 50%. Food's gone up 60%. Electricity's gone up 50 or 60% just in the short last 4 years. So that 3% is falling short. But here, let me pull up an article. Take me just a second here. I got to share my screen. If I can find that setting now. There we go. It changes. No. Okay, here we go. Share. There's the one I want right there. Hey, here we go. See, this article was in 401k Specialist. It's a trade publication. again got my attention because now they're saying the cost of living for us seniors on Social Security is going to be 2.5%. That's pretty something. I'm going to zip down and maybe I can highlight a couple things here. Yeah, let me get that. Let me get a highlighter up here. Yeah, that's all right. Right there. There we go. Well, you see, we're going to get for the average person that gets 1,870. I'm not very good at drawing lines here, but you can see that right there. They're going to get for the average person that gets 1,870. I'm not very good at drawing lines here, but you can see that right there. That's the average retirement benefit right now is $1,870. And they're going to get $46.80 increase a month. That's pretty cool. But right down here, Part B is going to go up $10.30. So right away we're going to get down to $36.50. Well, here's the interesting thing about this article. Stop the line there so I can scroll down. Whoops, that's interesting. Let's erase it. There we go. Interesting how they change things around. It makes it so much more fun to work with. So we're getting $35 a month, but look at this. This is down here, right there. Monthly expenses are up 55% in 2023. I mean, my goodness gracious, we get up here and you'll find out in this article. Now, of course, I can't exactly remember where I saw it, but that since its inception, or since 2004, the cost of Part B premiums, there we go, it's probably down here, has gone up a whopping 109, right there it is, 109.9%. Over that same course of time, the cost of living is only went up 52%. So that $1,870 is being cut quite a bit, been damaged quite a bit by just the cost of Part B premiums. There's another area that's gone up so much more. That's care. In-home care has gone up on an average of 8% a year over the last decade. So if we don't have something in here, and we really have to sit down as people getting ready to retire, and we really have to look at this a little harder than we have been. Again, this isn't a political statement, but I don't think that I've ever seen prices that have gone up this drastic in my lifetime come back down rather quickly. Over the course of time, they've come down, they've normalized, I guess is the term that they like there. And so that kind of means that we've kind of gotten used to it, and the companies have kind of figured out they're charging a little too much, or they adjust their prices, or whatever the case may be, or they're not selling it. I mean, it's quite simple. If you don't buy it and they can't sell it, then they've got to do something to get it back in the active market. But when you've got a normal budget in your home as a retiree of, let's say, well, here it is. They're saying it's gone from 4,000 to 6,000 a month. I don't know about you, but that's a 50% increase in the cost of day-to-day living. 50% of your budget went up by 50%. You jump into that long-term care thing, and all of a sudden you're talking about another 100% jump. 6,000 a month. That'll pay for home care. So if we don't have this planned for, the income side of this, the cost side of this whole thing called care, is just going to chew us up. But in order to have a plan set up to where it's going to do what we need it to do, and again, we don't have to worry about it. We have to look at what costs are really doing and not be optimistic that they're going to get less. Staying at home, that's what we all want to do. We want to age out at home. But the older we get, sometimes the harder that gets. And like I say, we order people, we call in people to help us. Most of the time that starts with family, right? And they don't expect to be paid, but we should expect to pay them. It's costing them money. It's taking out of their retirement. It's taking from their time. We should minimize that and maximize our independence. Have people come help us stay in our home and keep us comfortable. But if this report shows us anything, it's that it's not coming back down anytime in the near future. I don't care who gets in the office. It's going to come down sooner or later when somebody steps in. But if we're going to rely on a reduction to make things work for us, then we're fooling ourselves. We can't look at it that way. We have to look at what's going on now and say, okay, are we cutting back? Are we going to change our lifestyle? Are we going to start drawing more money, which is going to deplete it quicker? What exactly are we going to do? Is there anything we can do? And that starts with the plan, that starts with a plan. If we know what we've got to do and we have the ability to adjust our income stream for that, whether that's inflation or this real cost of care or real cost of living that I'm talking about here today. We have to have that ability, don't we? So listen, I'm going to wrap this up. I might be short today. The income conversation here, whether it's about retirement or retirement into long-term care or simply savings, because that's being affected. Savings, yeah. 200 and some % increase in credit card debt among those under 65. Incredible. What are we going to do? What are you going to do? What can we do? It starts by sitting down and taking an honest look at where we're at and saying, this is where I've got to go. And this is what it's going to take to get there. And truthfully, then we start talking about inheritance and different things. First, it's about how we get through retirement. We age out comfortably, or as comfortable as we can. Hey, this has been Coffee with Ralph. Like I said, I'm going to wrap it up a bit earlier. Remember MedicareWithRalph.com. It's a free call. It's about Medicare. It's coming up that time. And by the way, just a side note, if any of you know anybody that was watching this on Facebook Live, please tell them I'm not there. And tell them it's not that I've dropped off the face of the map. Tell them to come to LinkedIn. Tell them to go to YouTube. Same time, same place, noon, Thursdays. God bless. Everybody have a great week.